Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into Andrew Kagan's newsletter this week. Random technical news you can possibly use from January 17th, 2025.
Right. Always a ton of cool stuff packed in there.
Seriously, Azure, Microsoft 365, Power Platform, Dynamics 365, DevOps, data, AI, security, compliance, even industry news and trends.
It's like a buffet of tech. Goodness, we're going to help you pick out the tastiest bits.
Okay, well, let's start with Azure. AI application templates. That seems interesting.
Yeah, this is Microsoft trying to make AI easier for everyone, right? Like giving you a head start.
Oh, I see. So you don't have to be a coding expert to use it.
Exactly. And then there's this Azure Firewall Private IP DNet update.
Oh, that sounds a little
It is technical, but basically it's about protecting your network, like a stronger lock on your door.
Got it. And there are videos for both these Azure updates if people want to go deep.
Yep, Andrew always hooks us up with the extra resources.
Now, onto Microsoft 365. Looks like Microsoft 365 Copilot is the big news. Have you been using it?
I have. It's really wild. Imagine like a super smart assistant inside all your Microsoft stuff.
AI doing the work for you. Sign me up.
Right. And there's so many videos explaining how to control it, use it for different tasks, even project management.
But the thing that caught my eye was this blog post enabling agents in Microsoft 365 Copilot chat.
Agents. Sounds futuristic.
Yeah, I was like, is this sci-fi now?
Well, think of it like this AI bots inside your chat that do specific things for you.
Ooh, so like one that summarizes meetings or pulls data from a spreadsheet.
Exactly. Making your life easier, that's the goal.
I need to read that post for sure. Now let's tackle Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Andrew's got a lot here. New deployment pages, an updated file picker, even a TMDL view for Power BI desktop.
Power BI folks will love that TMDL view. It's like seeing under the hood of your data model.
Oh, so you can see how it's all structured, even troubleshoot stuff.
Exactly. It gets pretty techy, but powerful if you need it.
And if you prefer visuals, there's a video on Fabric SQL databases. More Power BI goodness.
Right. Plus, good news for Power Pages, those ALM-aligned updates make managing apps smoother.
Always a good thing. And there's even a video on building a SharePoint embedded center of excellence. They're covering a lot of bases.
For sure.
Okay, DevOps time. WebAssembly seems to be the hot topic, especially with Kubernetes.
Right. WebAssembly or YSM, it basically lets you run code from different languages anywhere.
So it's like a universal translator for code.
Exactly. Imagine how that changes how we build and use apps.
Super efficient, super flexible. And speaking of changes, Andrew's got articles on 5 trends reshaping Kubernetes and DevOps in 2025.
And they all point towards more automation, serverless stuff, a huge focus on security.
Lots to keep up with, but those articles are a good starting point.
Definitely.
Okay, data analytics and AI, so much going on here, especially with language models.
The rise of small language models, or SLMs, that's a big one. More compact, more efficient.
Smaller, faster, right, like everything else in tech. And Google DeepMind is working on improving the accuracy of the larger ones.
Which is huge. As we use AI more and more, accuracy is crucial.
Totally. And then there's the whole no-code AI platform trend.
Right. Letting anyone build AI apps, even without coding skills, it's making AI accessible to everybody.
Wow, that's amazing. It really feels like AI is becoming part of everyday life.
It is.
But what about this idea of large concept models? How are those different?
It's a really interesting shift. Instead of focusing on words, they're looking at concepts.
So understanding the meaning behind things, not just the words themselves.
Exactly. This could change how we interact with AI in a huge way. Still early, but very exciting.
AI getting a big brain upgrade, huh?
You could say that.
All right, let's move on to security, compliance, and privacy. Always important.
Lots to talk about here. CISA and Microsoft both have new resources on boosting security.
So practical advice on how to protect our data.
Exactly. And for healthcare folks, there are proposed updates to the hyperlicis security rule.
Keeping up with the times, making sure patient data stays safe.
Right. And then there's this big news. The U.S. military is putting $30 billion into cybersecurity in 2025.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Shows how seriously they're taking cyber threats.
Oh, kidding. It's a wake-up call for all of us.
Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility.
Totally agree.
Okay, let's shift gears to something a little more fun. Learning and certifications. Andrew's got a ton of resources this week.
There's something for everyone, seriously. From speeding up Python scripts to a full course on Lisp for beginners.
Who knew Lisp was still a thing?
Right, and for the adventurous, there's even some exploration of the Rust language.
So many ways to keep learning and growing.
Exactly. Lifelong learning is key in tech.
All right, final section. Industry news and trends, always interesting to see the bigger picture.
First up, an article on the top 10 priorities for CIOs in 2025. Lots of insights into what's keeping IT leaders up at night.
Managing cloud costs, cybersecurity, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And for the tech enthusiasts, there's a piece on reversible computing.
Reversible computing, that sounds pretty futuristic.
It is. Think energy efficiency. Completely new ways of computing.
Wow. And how about storage? Any big changes on the horizon?
Definitely some shifts happening in the storage stack as we move into 2025. Always worth keeping an eye on.
And on the quantum computing front, MIT just set a new world record for fidelity, almost 100% accuracy.
That's huge. Quantum computing is still early days, but it has the potential to revolutionize everything.
It's like a whole new frontier in computing.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing some interesting shifts in the present, right? Like CIOs are rethinking their use of the public cloud.
Right. The cloud's been amazing, but some companies are looking at hybrid or multi-cloud approaches.
More flexibility, more control. Makes sense. And then there's the news about that European cloud provider, Anexia. They're moving a bunch of virtual machines off VMware to their own KVM platform.
Interesting move, right? Shows the growing interest in open source solutions.
Definitely something to watch. And last but not least, Microsoft is bundling Office AI features into Microsoft 365, but they're raising prices.
It's sparking some debate about the value proposition, for sure. AI's great, but is it worth the extra cost?
Good question. That's a lot to think about. We've covered everything from Azure updates to quantum computing, the democratization of AI, the shifting cloud landscape.
It's been a whirlwind tour of tech news.
It really has.
It has. Lots to unpack, for sure.
It really has. And speaking of unpacking, we didn't quite finish talking about industry news and trends.
Oh, right. What did we miss?
Well, the one that jumps out at me is the proposed updates to the APA security rule.
Ah.
I know a lot of our listeners work with sensitive health data, so this is a big deal.
Absolutely. HiPay is all about keeping that electronic protected health information safe, right? And these updates, they're trying to make it even stronger.
So what's changing? What should people be aware of?
Well, there are a lot of details, but the main focus is on stricter risk analysis, more emphasis on data encryption, and tighter control over who can access that sensitive info.
So basically staying ahead of the curve, making sure patient data is protected no matter what.
Exactly. Because technology changes so fast, they got to keep up.
It makes you realize how important HIPAA compliance is for anyone dealing with protected health information.
It is, and it's essential to stay informed about these changes, you know?
Yeah.
Make sure you're following the latest standards.
Okay, so that wraps up industry news and trends for this week. We've covered a lot today, from Azure to AI to all the security stuff.
We have.
Before we move on, I wanted to step back for a minute and look at the big picture.
Okay.
What are some of the key takeaways you think our listeners should remember from all this?
Key takeaways. If I had to boil it down, I'd say there are 3 major points.
I'm all ears.
First, AI is not going anywhere, and it's changing everything. We talked about those small language models, the large concept models. AI is transforming how we work, live, how we interact with the world.
It's true, and it feels like it's only getting more powerful and accessible.
Right. So it's crucial to stay informed about what's happening and think about how you can use AI.
To be more productive, make better decisions, all that.
Exactly. That's the first takeaway.
Okay, what's number 2?
Cybersecurity. It's more important than ever. I mean, the U.S. military is putting $30 billion into it. That's a huge signal.
Yeah, you can't ignore that.
So that highlights how crucial proactive security measures are. Not just for big companies, for everyone.
Right. It's easy to forget about, but it's everyone's responsibility.
Exactly. So that's the second big takeaway. Don't neglect cybersecurity.
All right, what's the third one?
Never stop learning. The tech world is constantly changing, so you got to keep up.
It's true. It can feel overwhelming sometimes.
It can. But there are so many resources out there, so many ways to keep learning. Whether it's new programming languages or just staying on top of trends, continuous learning is so important.
It's an investment in yourself, really.
Exactly. So those are my 3 key takeaways. AI is here to stay, cybersecurity is essential, and never stop learning.
I like it. Those are good ones to remember.
Now, before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear your take on something.
Okay, shoot.
We've seen so much innovation just this week, it makes you wonder, where is all this heading?
The big question, right? What's the future of technology?
Exactly. What are your predictions?
Oh, man. Predictions are always tough, especially in tech. But I do think there are a few key trends that'll shape the future in a big way.
Like what?
Well, first, I think we'll see even greater convergence of technologies. We talked about it before. AI, cloud computing, edge computing, quantum computing, even blockchain.
Right.
They're all powerful on their own. But when you combine them, the possibilities are mind-blowing.
Mm.
Imagine AI running on a decentralized quantum-powered cloud, processing huge amounts of data in real time.
Whoa.
And giving us insights we can't even imagine right now. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a pretty wild vision.
It is. It makes you wonder what kind of problems we'll be able to solve with that kind of tech.
For sure. What else do you see happening?
I think we'll also see a shift from technology-centric thinking to human-centric thinking. As technology gets more powerful, we need to make sure it's being used to improve people's lives, right?
Yeah, to solve real problems.
Exactly. Fighting climate change, revolutionizing healthcare, creating a more just world. Technology can be a force for good, but we have to use it wisely.
I agree with that. It's about using technology ethically.
Exactly. And that brings me to my final prediction.
Okay, let's hear it.
Digital literacy and critical thinking are going to be essential. Our world is getting more digital, more complex.
Right.
We need to be able to separate fact from fiction, evaluate information, understand the impact technology has on our lives.
Those are crucial skills, for sure.
And not just for individuals, but for organizations, for governments, for everyone.
I think you're right. Digital literacy is going to be key in navigating the future.
So those are my predictions. Converging technologies, human-centric thinking, and the importance of digital literacy. What do you think?
I think those are some really interesting points. It sounds like the future of technology is full of potential, but also some potential challenges.
Totally. We need to be mindful, make conscious choices about how we develop and use these powerful tools. It really makes you think, where do we go from here with all this?
It does. Like we were just talking about converging technologies, that potential is huge.
Right. That idea of AI, cloud computing, edge computing, quantum computing, blockchain, all working together, it was almost too much to wrap my head around.
Well, and we're already seeing pieces of it happening, right? Like think about healthcare. AI is being used to look at medical images, even assist with surgeries.
Oh, yeah. And all that powered by cloud platforms handling tons of data.
Exactly. Or take finance, blockchain, and AI working together for security, preventing fraud, assessing risk.
So many possibilities when these different technologies start collaborating.
Absolutely. And the best part is it's all focused on solving actual problems, making things better for people.
That's what it's all about, using technology to make a positive impact. But we can't forget about the ethical side of things either, can we?
Definitely not. It's a powerful tool, technology, and like any tool, it can be misused.
We have to be careful, make sure we're building a future where technology helps us, not hurts us.
Right. A future where it empowers us, connects us, and helps create a more just and sustainable world. It's up to all of us to make that happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of tech news. Andrew Kagan's newsletter never disappoints. From the tiny details to the huge trends, I feel like we've covered it all.
It's been a blast exploring it with you. This tech landscape's always changing. It's wild to watch unfold.
And we want you to be part of the conversation, too. What stood out to you the most? What are you excited or worried about when it comes to the future of tech? Hit us up in the comments below. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries. We'll see you then.